Quit moving. God. Camera's like, whoa, whoa, Speedy, slow
Oh,
down.
it's just a preview. It's okay.
All
Alright, welcome in, guys. We're here to talk today about different ratchets and stuff. We're not here to persuade you which one to buy. Just give you some features and ideas about maybe if you're a new guy coming in, maybe which style you want to go for. If you want to go for the super expensive one or the poor man's way, if you will.
We've got a variety of different brands. We've got everything from cheap to high end.
Yeah, we've got some Craftsman all the way up to Matco and Snap-on. So we'll start with 1/4 inch here. We've got some laid out different styles, different lengths, and kind of just give you what we think. First up is Craftsman. This is just one that I've had forever, a little cheap kit.
You did say Craftsman, not Craftsman, right?
Yeah, Craftsman, like Mama's Crafting. And I mean, it's just a basic style. It's got 72 teeth in it. Pretty normal for a basic one. They run about 17 bucks. So not too bad, not break the bank.
You've got about 4 inches handle, and about, what would you say, about 1.5 inches head length.
About.
So you really got about 3-4 inches of good hand grip, and obviously big hands like this. This looks like a little
Like a
tinker
toy.
So it'll get the job done. But if you're doing some specialty work and stuff, it's more or less a weekend warrior do it yourself type of ratchet. Definitely not in. It serves its place. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it'll definitely get the job done, but it's definitely more of a basic one. Next up, we've got a Husky. I really like these. These are also a basic one, kind of like Craftsman. You can get these for about 17 bucks as well. It's about 5 inches, but same, you're only going to get about 4 in your hand. I mean, with a 1/4 inch, you're not really doing a lot of torquing on it too hard, hopefully. I like the smoothness on them. It feels better in your hand rather than the Craftsman. You've got these sharper edges, and if you're really pushing on something, it might hurt your hand a little bit.
And both of these are considered solid handles. The handle is the tool. There's no extra comfort grip or molding. It's the body of the tool is the handle.
Yeah, it's pretty
Both
basic.
of them are serviceable. Snap rings removable, so if you strip a gear, you can obviously service them.
That's true. One thing about Craftsman too is Sears would sell these a lot, and Sears seems to be downsizing their stores a lot, at least around here. So availability, as far as going to an actual store, might be a little slim. Granted, we got the internet nowadays, so you can just find just about anything, but that is something to keep in mind.
Although, another thing to mention is this is just a Craftsman. Craftsman has a Craftsman line that's Craftsman Pro. And at one time, I'd heard a story where if you take a Craftsman wrench and if you got your service department shirt on, they won't warranty it because you didn't buy the Pro Series for Pro Mechanic. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But a little backstory for you on Craftsman.
So next up we've got is Matco. This one's a lot longer. It does have more of a comfort grip on it. That makes it nice if you're really having to push on something like we said. This is longer, so you're going to be able to put more torque onto it.
It's 9 inches.
9 inches. So you've got almost 5 longer than these other short ones.
It's an 88 tooth, so you got a few more teeth in there for a lower swing arc.
Right. These Craftsman and Husky, they're only 72. This is 88. That gives you a little bit more. It doesn't sound like much, but when you're actually out there doing it, it does help.
And all 3 of these are fixed head ratchets. We'll get into a variety of head ratchets later, but they don't move. What you got is what you got there.
Oh, also price on this one is about $140. So you are paying for what it is, and it's higher quality.
It is lifetime warranty as well too. Problem: find your Matco dealer. Should either service it, give you a new one, depending on what your dealer does. A lot of them will tear the head out, tear the guts out of the head, and rebuild it for you.
Some of them just replace them.
Yeah, some of them will just hand you a brand new ratchet right off the truck. So
So as far as serviceability and getting a new one faster, it might be a little better with these. Granted, your tool truck probably only shows up about once a week. So,
Or if you're like us, the Matco trucks, unfortunately not around right now, so if we had to service it, you gotta send it in.
so
There you're, what, 2-3 weeks out?
yeah, it's very possible. Next we got up is Snap-on. What was this called with the handle on it?
That is a swivel speed handle.
Swivel speed handle. Oh, yep. The handle on this one is swivel, so then you can go up like this and be able to turn it around and be easier with it.
So you actually can hold the anvil.
No,
So you can actually, use it as a 1/4-inch speed handle as well.
oh, Mama's mixer.
Something like that. So, this brings us to a new point. We've got a flex head. This is a non-locking flex head. Tracy's favorite. He absolutely loves these. That's my personal opinion. Personal favorites. I love the flex head. Tighten them up once in a while. They do get a little loose sometimes, but I personally like them. I like to be able to have a little different angle sometimes. Another nice thing I found about this ratchet, where it has the swivel handle built into it, is if you're working on a bolt here, you've got built-in clearance, so you're not going to bust your knuckles on everything.
Yeah, you got a little more than you would being straight.
I've found that very handy on lots of different things. Obviously, that's got a lot more torque. A lot of 1/4-inch stuff, you're not going to apply that much torque, but one of my favorite sockets to put on a 1/4-inch ratchet of this size is a 14 millimeter. Just typical 14 millimeters in 3/8 drive, but I do have a 1/4-inch 14 millimeter, and God, just having that extra leverage in the 14 millimeter, I don't know, it's a great combo for me. It's really good. Works really nice.
Just to clear things up on this flex head, I mean, they do have their purpose. I can't say they don't. But the thing with me is that they don't lock. And I've been in several places where you're trying to get on a bolt and you're in an awkward angle because you know you're not always be able to get straight to it. And it'll move and you might slip your hand off and, bust a knuckle, whatever. So that's the one thing that I haven't liked. And these do loosen up. I mean, you can tighten them up like Thor said, and it'll help you a little bit, but I particularly like the locking ones. But I have had times where, say you're doing a pulley on a Detroit, and you've still got all your hoses and everything in line, and if you were able to just get it up there and be able to tilt it just a little bit, you'd be able to get past it, and I have done that, and that has saved me. So, I mean, they do definitely have their purpose, but just me, I don't favor them a whole lot.
Up next, we've got our Matco 88 tooth 1/4-inch. This one happens to be a 14-inch 1/4-inch ratchet. I personally can't say I've used it too much. I bought it probably, I don't know, what did you say, about 3-4 months ago?
Something like that.
Tracy's got his little grubby mitts on it more than I have. So,
How many teeth are in that
that
one?
was an 88 tooth.
88.
Here's what Tracy really likes. This has got the flex head, but then it also locks so it don't move.
It's got little grooves on here on the hinge, so it's able to lock in the slot.
To me, it's alright, but sometimes I like to just be able to hurry and flip the handle up and use it as a speeder. Honestly, I bought it because it was a longer 1/4-inch ratchet, and I was thinking of my buddy Tracy, doing projects together. Wanted to make him as comfortable as possible with one of these locking flex heads. And my tool color, orange. Gotta have orange. This one looks black, but that's got the comfort grip just like that one, orange and black. A lot of my handles are orange. A lot of my tools are orange. If it comes in a color, it's probably going to be orange.
That's actually a good thing to mention. I mean, the color, every mechanic seems to have their own color. I mean, I like green. So if I bought those, they'd definitely be green. So that's kind of a neat thing with it.
That is another thing you get from a professional grade tool versus just your standardized run-of-the-mill pack tools such as your Husky, Craftsman, Cobalt, any other ones you can think of, because Cobalt's from Lowe's. You've got,
Yeah, I remember Husky from Home Depot, Craftsman a little bit.
anything else you have to say about this one Ratchet? Since you've used it more than I have.
Yeah, I mean, you've only had it a few months. We haven't really done that many projects in a couple months. But I
Hey,
gotta say,
it was brand new orange until you put your grubby mitts on it.
yeah, I'll have to clean it up. I got some brake clean for you.
Brake clean?
Yeah! Or glass cleaner. Glass cleaner.
Penetrating oil actually works pretty good. Take tip.
There you go. There you go. But no, I mean, I like this. We just did a project actually on a front-wheel drive car, and there was a bunch of bolts on the sides of the engine. Well, actually, the
Exhaust
back of the
manifolds.
engine. Yeah, exhaust manifolds on the side. And this actually came in really handy. So I'd admit, I mean, I'm kind of jealous I don't have one of these. It would come in really handy. So, up last, we've got a snap-on. This is just a flex head. It's about, what is this, 14 inches long?
That one happens to be 11.
11.
It also happens to be our most expensive quarter-inch ratchet.
That's very true. Oh, we didn't say the price on this one. What was it?
That one is $147.95.
147. So it is a little bit more pricey, but you heard everything good about it.
Now, most of these professional grade ratchets come in multiple styles. This one will come in a fixed head, a non-locking flex head, and a locking flex head. And you can also get this length in fixed head, flex head, and locking flex head. Just matter of your opinion, what you want, how much torque you're applying. Just so happen to be these ones are on the truck, that's why I picked them up.
Yep. So anyway, so you say it's 11 inch?
Yes, that one's
Okay.
11 inch.
And again, this is just a basic swivel one that doesn't lock, doesn't have any grooves. I mean, I don't really know much about this one. This is all you, Betty.
Oh, it happens to be a 70 tooth. Actually, pretty fine. Literally, I bought this to get entered into a Snap-on dealer was offering. Thought, I'm probably never going to use it. And again, I had that 14 millimeter socket. Ended up slapping her on there. And believe it or not, just because of your head width, you can get into a lot more places than you can with a 3/8 drive. It's become one of my favorite tools in the engine bay, in the interior, taking dashes apart. If I had to pick one tool to keep and get rid of the rest, this would definitely be probably in my top 10. And again, it's one of Tracy's favorites.
Oh, yeah.
See, this is the thing he doesn't like. It kind of flops around once in a while. You got to tighten up that screw. But me, I like it. You get it broke loose, all of a sudden you can go to the top and just turn and zip it right out. That's one of my favorite things about the non-locking. I like it. But everybody's got their own opinion.
That's true.
So, so in conclusion, with the quarter inch, we've got 2 Snap-on, 2 Matco, a Craftsman, and a Husky. Obviously, we've got everything from mild to wild. This one, you can apply some pretty good torque on quarter inch. Am I worried that this anvil could break over time? It probably could. But, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, And for the most part, on these professional grades, your head width is about the same. Probably about, 3/8 inch or so. The Husky is very, very comparable. About the same. And the Craftsman is a little more chunky, wouldn't you say?
A little bit.
That little short, chunky fella right there. I can relate a little bit.
Well, you're not very short, but one thing that I just remembered is these professional grade ones, at least these ones that we've got on the table, don't have this feature. But this is something I really, really like. And this Craftsman and the Husky have it. And there are these little buttons on the back.
Oh, and I hate them.
And they got the balls, the detent balls. and you push the button and put your socket on there. It's going to hold your socket on there, and I love that.
No, that's a
Because-
lie. I've had sockets come off them worse than I have these.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's possible. They get wore out eventually, but, I mean, you get the little detemp balls on these ones, but I've had ratchets before that they get worn out so much faster, and then you go to put this on here, and you go down into a hole, and the socket falls off, and then you're searching for your socket, and it's, I don't know. I just like it because with the button, it just, I love it. And some people say, oh, it's quicker without. Well, after a time, you just do it, and you don't even realize it.
Another thing to mention is looking at the heads of these ratchets. 4 out of 6 have snap rings. Can cause problems if they break, come loose, whatever. These snap-ons happen to be full sealed heads with 2 flathead screws that hold the head together to the gears. Have I ever had a snap ring one come apart? I have. Not that big a deal, so maybe that's something you're interested in.
The sealed ones are better to clean off, or not better, but I mean easier to clean off when you get dirt and stuff on them rather than the snap ring one. The snap ring has a big groove in it, and you kind of got to work at it a little bit sometimes to get them cleaned out.
Yeah, like I said, I really haven't done a whole lot with the Matcos. I've done quite a bit with Huskies, Craftsman, but for the past 4 years, when I was in a automotive shop, ag shop, my go-to has been these snap-ons. They've been in my box, and I've gone to them every time I need a little extra room or small, precise interior work. You know, they're go-tos for me.
Well, I think I heard enough on the quarter inch. How about we move to 3/8?
Sounds good. Let's get her done.
All right, now we're here with the 3/8, and we've got Craftsman, a couple Huskies, a couple Cornwell, a Matco, and a Snap-on for what we got.
Snap-on Mac.
Oh, Snap-on, then Matco. I'm sorry. So again, first we got the Snap-on, or my bad.
Wow!
Craftsman. I wish Snap-on was this cheap.
That'd be nice. I would have a lot more tools for the money I've invested.
No kidding. Anyway, so we got Craftsman. This is just 3/8, fixed. Again, it's got the button for the locking. Same type mold as the 1/4 inch one. This one goes for about 20 bucks if you were to replace it. 72 teeth. Again, pretty basic.
Yeah, you're literally the 1/4 inch, just a little upsized.
Yeah, just a little bigger. That's no difference there. Husky again, same thing. A little longer. I don't remember how long this is.
That one is
8 inches.
about
Yeah.
an inch, 3/8 drive.
So, same mold as the 1/4 inch one we had out. It's got that smooth finish on it. I really like it. This is what I've got in my box every day. I've actually got a little mark here. I don't know if you see it. I was doing a starter one time and didn't realize I had the
Oh, you
swing
tried the
on
jump
it.
starter, huh?
Yeah, I jump started on it and it sparked, and it actually just sparked on the ratchet. So it's got a little war wound here, little war story.
Hey, that's an identifying mark. So
Yeah.
if I bring mine over, we'll be able to tell them apart, you know.
One's got a birthmark here. There we
I was thinking about painting yours pink, but
go. Hey now, pink ain't my color. I got green. Next we got the Husky. I've got a flex head Husky. This one's got the detent ball in it.
now it's a locking.
We'll call
locking.
it semi-locking.
It combines, I guess, the best of both worlds.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Say so.
So what I mean though, it's got a detent ball in the handle with a spring in there, and it's got these grooves. So I mean, it's not gonna, move if you just shake
Like
it.
my,
Yeah.
You know.
That's slapped pretty hard.
she's seen some work.
Yeah.
I mean, the handle's been beat up too. Jeezness.
You need to eat lunch first, not chew on your handle.
Well, they were doing a fan on I think a Ford Ranger, and one of my coworkers slipped and busted his knuckles up in the handle. I was more pissed about my handle. than the
Well,
handle.
yeah.
I mean, snap.
That's more expensive than your hand. You
Yeah,
know?
that was like an $80 handle. Good night.
Anyway, so it's got the semi-locking, and you can just bend it over. This style's not too bad. I kind of favor these ones if I'm going to go for a flex head. That's why I've got that. Next, I've got a little Cornwell stubby. And to be honest, this is just kind of one of those impulse buys. You're just on the truck, and you got a whole bunch of stuff slapped on there. You're like, oh, we'll slap this on there too. Why not? Add to the collection. And same thing like with ties, little quarter-inch snap-on one. Didn't think you were going to use it much, and I've actually used the ever-living piss out of this thing. It is so neat. It's so short. I think it's like 3 or 4 inches long. And you can just get in little places and just go ham with one of those bolts.
I've thought about buying them, but let me show you. I've got one problem. Where'd it go?
He's got big old hands.
I could never use it. Like, seriously. I feel like a Barbie doll brush or something. 'Cause that's like,
Well, give me back my brush then, Kim.
take it. You might lose it in these paws.
Then I've got this cornrow one. This is a 40 tooth one, so not a lot of teeth in this one. So if you're in a tight spot, probably not the best choice. But I have actually used this one a lot too. This is one of those that I'll throw in the bag if I'm going on a trip. So I might do a breaker, or not breaker bar. I guess treat it like a breaker bar. If you ever need to do a lug nut or something, you could. It's got the little length to it. It's all chrome.
6 foot cheater and jump on it.
Yeah, 6 foot cheater jump on it. My little butt. No
That's a whole
comfort handle.
45 foot-pounds right there.
No kidding. No comfort handle on this one. It's just fixed. Pretty basic. This one was about
$118.
$118. Oh, we didn't say the price on this. So the stubby one was $95. Quite the impulse buy. Don't tell the wife. The husky
upstairs.
one. Yeah, she's upstairs. Don't tell her.
That was before they were married, though, so, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, yeah. The flex head husky one was about $20, and then the fixed head one was about $16. Craftsman was about $20. So
All right, I'll move on to the heavyweights here. This is the old, tried and true, good old faithful. I mean, if I've ever been doing anything 3/8 drive, it was either an impact gun or it was this guy. I mean, you can see she's got some battle wounds. The handle's completely spun 180. The snap-on's supposed to be over here on this side, but it's held up. It's an 80 tooth, so you got pretty good maneuverability. Again, gotta love my flex heads. This used to be a lot floppier when I used it every day. Have to tighten her up, maybe once a week or so, but this one was not an impulse. This was, I gotta have it. I wanted it, gotta have it. I was used to work on stuff like this. When I started in the ag world, I, was working with stuff like this, and we're trying to bust bolts loose, so I figured I need a little extra length, a little extra torque, and I've done some incredible things with this. Handle's still straight. Never done too much damage, but I don't know. You've used it a few times. What's your thoughts on this one?
pretty good universal one. I mean, 3/8 you tend to use a lot on.
Does have the comfort grip.
Yeah, comfort grip. That is always a plus. I don't know. There's really not much to say about it. I mean, it's again not one of my favorites because it doesn't lock at all.
Oh boy.
But I mean, I've used it, and I have enjoyed using this one too quite a bit.
See a trend. He uses my tools.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to fund the projects.
Anyway, I don't know. It's just pretty good all around use. Universal, nothing too special with it. Just everyday good one. One of them good ones you're glad that you bought.
This has definitely paid for itself probably 100 times over. Up next we got our Matco locking flex head. This one is a little longer. This one's roughly 18 inches, 88 tooth. You can see orange handle, still nice and shiny and bright. Never been used really, if ever. Bought it when my dealer was unfortunately going out of business and made me a pretty good deal on it, so I figured, well, might as well add to the collection. It ran me somewhere in the neighborhood of about $200. The snap-on was somewhere right in the range of about 160. Not much else to say. We kind of covered a lot of the features in the quarter inch, and they just kind of transpire into the bigger ones. But yeah, that's still, if I'm doing something, I'll go to grab my Snap-on 3/8.
Fair enough.
What else you got? You think we're ready to move on to some bigger and better things?
Yeah, rock on to the 1/2 inch.
Alrighty.
Sounds good. We'll start.
Alrighty, so we're back we've covered 1/4, 3/8. Anybody guess what's next? You said 1/2 inch? You're right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've got our, obviously, Craftsman again. Not much to say here. We've got a bigger version of 3/8 and an even bigger version of the 1/4, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, it's fixed. It's like 20 tooth, really, really coarse.
About $25 for that one.
We're moving on to our Husky. Hey, this one don't have starter marks.
Hey, that's a good one.
Oh, we got some scuffage though.
Oh well. Means it's getting used. That one's about $30.
Then we've got our flex head Husky. That this head on this ratchet is just massive. Like, oh god. It might just tilt the Earth's axis if you tilt it too fast. That is you see that? That is
Well, don't
like,
tilt it that way. I don't want you going on me.
well, you know, that is like 20% of the ratchet. That is a big head on that ratchet.
Look familiar.
Yeah, every time I see your face. I personally have never been a big fan of the flex head Huskies. Like, I'll use the fixed ones daily, but the flex head, I mean, when you look at it, you've got just probably 2 inches of extra mass down here that I find it cumbersome, gets in the way. You got anything to add to these?
No, they're pretty basic, straightforward.
Now, the flex head was, what'd you say, about how much?
That one's about $30.
$30. Alright, we'll move on to some real moving power here. I've had this for roughly 4 years. It was one of my first purchases off the Snap-on truck. It is a 1/2 inch drive, 25 incher. I've done some things with this I probably shouldn't. Don't tell a Snap-on dealer. I've had some cheaters on here. I remember there was one time we were breaking it, or we were splitting a tractor that had a tractor frame on it, and the bolts were so rusted. It was roughly about a 15/16 size bolt, well, bolt head, and had impact guns on it. We had cheaters. We had this, that, and the other, and finally I told my head mechanic, let me go get that big ratchet I got. We probably put a 3-foot cheater on her. I was jumping on that cheater. She's still straight as an arrow. I've seen guys break the ears off these handles. I don't know how. I've never done it. I've never put that much force on it. But she was bold there for a minute because, you know, I'm a tiny little guy.
Oh yeah.
And I was jumping on her. She had a good bend in her, and well, needless to say, I've never had to warranty this one. No skipping teeth. This one is an 80-toother. Pretty good and fine. I don't know. What you guys say about this one?
Well, she's big, and we all like big tools. I mean, they're always fun. It's got the flex head on it, not locking.
Again, my favorite.
Yeah, his favorite. I mean, if I was in his situation and with that breaker bar and stuff, that's one that I'd be worried about, is if it was going to slip at all. But
Workers' comp, man. I was trying to get these
well,
off.
workers' comp, huh? You got the cover handle. I mean, it makes it nice. I don't have one this big, so I can see where it would definitely come in handy.
Size matters.
It does.
Oh, we actually just used this yesterday, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We actually, a friend of ours called, had a truck that had problems. Unfortunately, had a few more problems than we thought. But the thing that this comes in really excellent for is you can get your harmonic balancer, crank pulley, throw the socket on there. With that much leverage, you should be able to turn that engine over. And by God, I thought I was going to pick the front end of that truck up because we had some torquage on her.
Needless to say, that engine was locked up.
Yeah, she's a little locked up. Oh, and this bad Larry cost us around $240. This is when you start to reconsider your life choices. We'll move on to the old Matco. She's pretty proud of her Matco name right there. Again, this is one of them that I picked up from the dealer. Fortunately, he went out of business. Never have used this one. It's shorter than my Snap-on. It's got 8 more teeth than the Snap-on, so you know, pretty good fine tooth. Don't know if I'd ever put a cheater on this. That handle's pretty big. Just a little size comparison. That handle is really, really wide. You'd probably break the plastic in there if you tried putting a cheater on it. Fixed head. Not much really to say about it. You got anything to say on this one?
Not really.
Yeah, go orange. Team orange. But that concludes our generic basic ratchets. But we do both have another favorite tool we like to use when we're, you know, doing head bolts or a lot of tedious and repetitive motions where this can get kind of boring. You know?
Long fine thread bolts.
Yep. And when you have a finer tooth ratchet, it's just even more, you know, you're just... So, luckily, everybody and their dog makes them. We've got these handy dandy speeder handles. This one so happens to be in the 3/8 drive. This one's a Matco.
This one's a Cornwell.
And if you look at them side by side, I'd say
They're about near the same.
they are identical. It's just what swivel handle you want on top. I will give the Cornwell this. It's about a quarter inch longer. Doesn't matter? Not really, because you're doing this motion.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can get a bolt in pretty quick doing this. Impact's fine, but when you're doing stuff like head bolts, you don't want to run an impact in. They're torqued to specific torques.
Yep. I've used this one lots of times. I mean, one thing is you got to have a lot of clearance. So, like you said, they're good for like head bolts and things.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not some on the front of the engine. You're not going to have that much room.
Or if it's a horizontal engine, you're not going to get the head bolts on the back without removing the hood, which,
Yeah.
you know, if you're doing major engine repair, it's a good idea to remove the hood anyway.
But just kind of a neat little tool that I don't know if a lot of people have them, but they definitely come in handy.
Well, the old timers did.
That's true.
They, you know, they serve their purpose. They're not technically ratchet, but they are. I would put them in the ratchet family because they're a driving tool.
Hand driving.
Yeah, a hand driving tool to quickly install fasteners. Rather it be bolts, nuts, you know, whatever. I've got actually bits that if you really wanted to, you could put a Phillips or a flathead on there.
That's true.
I'd go with a drill in that purpose, but if worst case scenario, you know, no power, you just gotta put that screw in there. You can do her, but you know, takes a little time.
It's time for the big one.
Yeah, it's time for a big one.
Oh, this is my favorite tool.
Watch where you're swinging that thing.
Oh boy. This big old thing. 3/4 inch ratchet, man. This is definitely not a high quality one. I can just imagine how much this thing would cost.
One of the great features about this is you are down to here, hold on a second.
Yeah, get that tape measure over here.
Very, very not a fine tooth. It is a coarse tooth ratchet.
Oh yeah. We've got about 23.5 inches.
Okay, so 3/4 inch drive. You are doing some serious voltage work. I mean, you said you do what?
I used to do wheel bearings with this.
I used to do like pinion seal, or not pinion seals, but pinion nuts on your yoke.
That'd be wheel bearings on semis, not pickups.
Yeah, no. if you're torquing this bad Larry on pickup, you might want to check your torque settings. You're probably going to strip something. I used to be in an ag world, doing your yoke pinions. You know, it's just a great thing, but you need to bust that thing loose. You can't find a cheater. Well, oh my golly.
We got one built in,
Oh,
buddy.
good Lord. There we go. Now
How
we
long is
are.
she now? 36. So you get an extra 13
Hey,
inches almost.
You're a little dyslexic. That's 39.
Oh, yep, 39. My bad. So, is that
So you
13
almost
extra?
double your size.
15 extra.
But I will admit, I have seen a style like this in a 3/8 drive. It was a Stanley, I believe. You got to remember, your outside handle is hollow. If you're putting a lot of torque on there and you decide you're going to put an extra cheater on after you've extended her, you definitely run the risk of
Breaking.
tweaking, breaking, bending, destroying. Probably not a good idea to add a cheater on top of your built-in cheater. And if you're using that much torque, you better go find a 1-inch impact gun.
That's true.
I do have one of these myself. Mine is currently in my toolbox offset. Yours is a what brand?
A Black Force. I believe I just found it on eBay, I think it was.
And just looking at it, it is identical to mine. Mine is actually an Easy Red. It is a off-brand of Cornwell. Not my favorite brand. Cornwell, not Easy Red. Tracy, he's a very good fan of Cornwell, aren't you?
I've always had good luck with them.
My go-to brand is Snap-on. I like to burn my money, of course, but you know.
Mm-hmm. His wallet's maybe a little bigger than mine.
They have bigger pockets.
That's true, for a big man.
Yeah, you know. What else can we say about this behemoth here?
Can't remember how much it was, but I want to say it was like around 130 bucks.
Well, that's probably comparable. I think mine was about 150 because obviously it was an off-brand. It's not a name brand Snap-on,
Right.
Matco, Cornwell, whatever.
Working in a big shop though, that was definitely a tool that, I mean, doing the wheel bearings, getting them undone or putting them back in, I mean, it definitely helped a lot. This is also a tool that you're a weekend warrior, say he doesn't have impacts and you're out on the side of the road and you've got a bigger style truck, maybe a small dump truck or something, this is a tool that you could probably get a lug nut off with it.
You're roughly 24 tooth. So you're going to have some good swing arc in there. You're not going to be doing this in any small confined space.
No, it's not a small tool.
It's not a small tool, but I'm just saying, if you're going to try to break loose a bolt that's, you know, maybe that you're trying to do a pinion, yoke pinion, and you just still got your drive line and stuff in the way, you get that stuff out of the way. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But in comparison, we've got Big Bad Larry, 3/4 drive. We got our, well, actually, we got our little 1/4 inch. Your 1/4 inch is the size of your grip handle down here.
Yeah, likewise.
So if you want to hold that one, I'll let you hold the big boy too.
Okay.
So we've got our smallest, our biggest.
I almost feel like one of them outlaw truckers, you know.
Oh,
the
good Lord.
And this was expandable.
We've got our, you know, mid-range 3/8. We've got a mid-range half. Another thing to take into consideration, 1/2-inch drive, you're going to usually apply more torque to your fastener. Well, on all your cheaper brands, you're going to have a shorter ratchet. This is 3/8, and it's longer than your half. So you're going to get more torque on a 3/8 with a professional grade than you are a 1/2-inch cheaper brand. So it's another thing to take into consideration. How much effort do you want to put in to your hand tools?
You know,
That's part of the reason why I have so many long 1/4-inch ratchets. Like I said, the snap-on one sold me. After that, I found so many good uses for them. I just, a lot of interior stuff. Taking dashes apart to do like heater cores, getting them up in there in tight spaces. I love them. And sometimes, you get up in there and you just can't maneuver it like a small one. Well, when you've got a flexible, longer one, now you can put your hand clear down here, maybe in the footwell, and then you can swing that thing. I mean, it's just another thing to take into consideration of what you're going to be doing. Where's your profession and career taking you? I bought one of these when I was in the ag world. Had I had one of these before I decided to throw that cheater on this one, well, we might have got it broke loose quicker. Don't know.
Your tools definitely make your money, so it's good to know, the differences between them, so you know what you're going to look for, and each one's going to have its own advantage in its own place. So I mean, no one ratchet's going to do it all. I mean, I haven't seen one that does it yet.
I haven't either. I mean,
so
you can buy adapters to go from 1/4-inch to 3/8, from 3/8 to half. I don't like doing that because then you really risk putting a lot of stress on your anvil of your ratchet. I'll adapt down if I have to, because then you're not putting as much stress on your anvil. You're putting the stress on your adapter. Adapters are cheaper compared to your ratchets.
very true. Just know your place, know the tool, know what it can do, what you should do with it. Hopefully this will help you out and you can kind of choose what you need or want for the new guy.
Alright, so in conclusion, you're going into a mechanic field, you're looking at buying tools. Now, I personally have been I'm no longer in the mechanic field. Still like to buy tools, I still like to do the weekend warrior stuff, and tools are expensive, we know this. Between Tracy and I, we've got 1/4, 3/8, half, 3/4 ratchets. And what was our grand total on just what we displayed here today?
Just under about $2,100.
$2,000 and nothing but ratchets, guys. I mean, you don't have to go with the high-end snap-on Matco stuff, but then again, if you're in the profession, you need the tool. You really can't just sit and go and borrow everybody else's. You can't go get the head mechanics tools. You got to have your own.